welcome to Future Farmers Voices podcast brought to you by Bloomfield Middle School's agriculture leadership and communications class. It's
Kalieh.
and Kendall, and today we're like to introduce you to Alan Miller from Miller's Border Collies. Alan raises border collies and trains them to herd livestock animals. Welcome, Alan Miller.
Thank you for having me.
Our first question is what made you decide to raise herding dogs, and how long have you been raising them?
It is a family tradition that I raise border collies. So we've had border collies for about 70 years, and I'm not 70 years old. So my daddy had them and raised them, and so I just sort of grandfathered into it from there.
Okay, what is your favorite thing about raising and training dogs?
Well, of course, I like dogs, and I believe that border collies are the smartest breed in the world, and I think scientific evidence would prove that. Of course, we raise sheep and cattle, and if you've ever had to go to the field and try to gather and drive a bunch of livestock to a place where they don't want to go, it sure is a lot easier to do when you have a really good border collie to help you.
What are some of your daily tasks relating to caring for and training border collies?
Well, my dogs stay in what you would call a barn, but really I call it a dog house. But it's got about 20 pens in it, and each dog has its own individual pen because you can't let a border collie run around without supervision because they'll get in trouble. So first thing I do when I get up is I go and I just walk through the kennel real quick, make sure everybody's doing okay. Then everybody gets to run. So I have a special field where that's about a half an acre, and I let all the girls out. All the girls get out and they get out of their pens and they get to run around and they chase each other and they have a good time and they get to go to the potty, and I like for them to get to run for, at least 15 or 20 minutes without me having to tell them what to do. And then I put them up and then I let the boys out. I don't have near as many boys as I have girls. And then while they're running, I'm checking their feed and I'm checking their water. And if there are puppies, then they need special care. They may be getting some special food, or they may have to be wormed, or they may something. And then I try to pet everybody and give everybody a little love. And then I have to keep checking out the door, because if I'm not present, some of them will be bad. There's a few of them will try to climb over the fence, or they'll want to go see where the sheep are or see where the cows are. And right now I have several pens of ducks, and the ducks are just like, I don't know, candy to them, and they like to watch the ducks, and it gets them excited, and I'll have to tell them to quit staring, and they'll bump into each other and they'll growl at each other because they're not watching where they're going. So, and then I put them up, and then I take some of the dogs and I do the rest of the chores with the sheep and the cows and the ducks. But the dogs get to actually work and help me do those jobs.
How do you do about training dogs to herd?
Well, first of all, I have border collies. So they're the best herding dogs in the world. So they're already predisposed when they're born to know how to herd. So what I do is I have to get control of them. It's kind of like having a wild friend or a boy. You gotta, if you don't supervise them and teach them how to do right, no matter how smart they are, they'll have a hard time. So they herd naturally. They're naturally cooperative, and then you just after watching my father, and of course I've read books, and I have lots of people that know how to train and develop a border collies. So it's just a process you go through.
What qualities make a good herding dog?
After their herding ability, and that means basically they should go to the far side of the livestock and want to bring it to you and control the livestock. It's got to be cooperative.
If you could give our viewers one piece of advice about training dogs, what would it be?
Get a border collie whose mom and dad are working dogs, and who their mom and dads were working dogs, and probably go find you somebody to help you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller, for joining us today and telling us a little bit about you and Miller's Border Collies. Thank you for listening, and remember, behind every good herd is a great dog.